Welcome, Moon Griffon Show on the road again in beautiful Alexandria, Louisiana, in conjunction with our good friends at KSYL 970 AM, friends at Sindler Broadcasting, who we are grateful to have been with them for probably 18 years now. We are at a Hixson Autoplex, of course, 3 great locations. We're here off of MacArthur Drive in Alexandria, Louisiana, and, of course, Leesville, where we were at, I think, back in December. Had a great time there, by the way.
Oh, yeah, a lot of good people.
And, of course, Monroe, which is, I call it my hometown now because that's why I lived for 35 years. But 3 great locations, and Dallas Hixson, of course, always joins us a bunch. Dallas, I really enjoy having you. I get a lot of comments when you're on the program.
Get that guy off the radio, that kind of time.
No, it's probably because you don't mind. You don't, and I'm gonna say this in a funny way. You like me, that's not good.
Oh,
but
man,
you don't.
man.
But you don't
Cornelius,
mind.
you listen to this?
You don't mind being honest about everything, and whether it's about taxes or what the car business is doing. Or I've had people say Dallas will say stuff about what Ford's doing that I don't know if they want him saying that, and I say no. Dallas is telling the customers.
A lot of times they don't.
I know, but Dallas is telling the customers something inside baseball. He's telling us a little something you may not know, which may help you understand the fact this is why they do things. And by the way, you didn't say if they were right or wrong, and sometimes you disagree, sometimes you agree.
Yeah.
But anyway, great to see you, man. It's been a little longer run because I did it early December and we did it late January.
Yeah. We had lots of holidays, and Happy New Year to you. And
you too, man.
And to all your listeners. And
both of them?
Yeah.
So you better tell Terry how.
No, I'm on the air, and so that means there's only one listener.
Hey, you better. Yeah, it's Terry.
Yeah, Terry. That's right. Terry. Yeah,
Brobridge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Terry's great.
Oh no, he's great. But anyway, it's good to see you. And we'll get it. Dallas. I like to talk to you. We'll get into government and all that stuff as we normally do. But a couple of things as far as this business now nationwide, and I don't care what anybody says. If you really want to look at economy, I always look at housing and automobiles. And I think the reason they do is that's the 2 biggest ticket items in a family. So in your position, not necessarily Ellicott, Louisiana yet, overall, where are we? Has it been an improvement? You heard about the Trump tax cut coming and all of it. Has it been an improvement?
I think both of those, as you said, they're what I would call bellwether guidance. For example, those people that may be in apartments, do they feel comfortable enough and confident enough to move out of an apartment and buy a home? Somebody who's in a home that may upgrade, they've already got a roof over their head, but do they feel confident to build a new home or to buy another home and sell theirs? And so that's when you see the American dream uptick. Then on the vehicle side, I think, again, consumer, these are somewhat discretionary items, but they're necessities as well.
You got to have
you got to have
transportation.
transportation.
Come on.
And so what people choose for their transportation, do they choose to drive what they have longer and repair it, or do they choose to go to something new? And so, what's interesting about the economy is every manufacturer, and I'm talking about every manufacturer, Toyota, one of the largest sellers of vehicles in the world, Ford, General Motors, every one of these people is coming out saying that the U.S. economy for automobiles is going to be flat in 2018. And so even with the Trump tax cuts, all the other things that are going on.
Even with the cuts.
Absolutely.
And let me ask you a question real quick right there. It's a big corporate tax cut.
Sure. Which
I'm tickled to death. I wish we didn't have a corporate tax. I know people that don't understand what I'm talking about. They get mad at you. Hey, we're going to tax them to death. Well, we're going to pay it on the other side.
Sure.
Will that affect the prices at all, or what we're trying to do? Because there's an incentive. I'm asking. There could be an incentive there. You say, well, it's going to be flat, but with the incentives, it could pick up a little bit.
I've talked to a couple of manufacturers that what they factor in a vehicle is when they're building a new vehicle, they factor in material costs, they factor in labor cost, they factor in everything from retirement benefits to taxes to all the things of future warranty claims. They build all that into the price of a vehicle.
Okay.
So I ask a direct question: is this going to affect the price of vehicles? In a nutshell, in a roundabout nutshell way, these 2 representatives I had from 2 different manufacturers both said yes, that they don't know that it's going to ever correlate into the lowering of a price of a vehicle. Because if I take an F-150 today and lower the price next year.
Well, let's switch it up a little bit.
Sure.
Will it help with somebody that's got more income? Because let's face it,
sure.
if you stayed the same on your income, if you got a tax break, maybe you're going to have another $100,
absolutely,
$150. But What if you got, well, I've seen where people have gotten pay raises already with the tax cut that's coming. They may have $300 or $400 more a month, which, by the way, is a good car note.
Did you see Ford's news? Is they are discussing right now the UAW workers giving them a $12,000 bonus per worker.
Who's doing this?
That's what Ford is working on right now. So,
but now that's real money.
Oh my goodness!
I take it.
Now, in addition to that, now remember these are contract workers because there's a contract there for the next several years, and so unlike some institutions that have upped the minimum wage, upped the wage of the individual worker, and given them $1,000 bonus, you've got a contractually obligated group of people in the UAW. So what you're going to see with Ford and Toyota and some of these other manufacturers is a lot of their sales-oriented jobs. They are not under contract like UAW, so they're going to get some raises, and then you're going to see UAW workers get some one-time payments, not only at Ford. And I think Ford's going to set the standard that other manufacturers are going to have to follow along.
And they follow that up with, you seeing it in the automobile manufacturing business. It's actually happening in other businesses.
Oh, absolutely.
Too. So if somebody shows up at work and they did get a pay raise, and let's say the pay raise worked out to be $300 a month.
Sure.
And the Trump tax cut kicks in, you could have $300 or $400 more a month. And that's going to be real money with a lot of people. Look, it's real money for us. If you give me $300 or $400 more a month, I can do something with that money. And I can put it back, I can put it into savings, I could help pay something off. I can do something with that.
The key is with Trump and with his tax cut is he says it's going to spur the economy. So I talk with a couple of people that I really believe in. These are very conservative type people that normally they say, oh, man, it's going to be a great thing. They're not so optimistic. And so in listening to them, I think they've got a couple of points. Number one, healthcare increases, healthcare premium payments for those people who have health insurance have gone through the roof in the last 4 years.
Absolutely.
And so people who have been making the same wage or a little bit more wage, the healthcare premiums they've paid have increased more than the wage increase that they've had. So their budget effectively has gotten smaller.
Okay,
and so with insurance premiums, meaning automobile insurance premiums, State Farm just had a rate hike of 15%. I think it was 15%.
You don't think they're going to
all states had, all states had a hike. All the insurance companies have had a hike. I'm not blaming State Farm. I'm blaming all insurance companies have had a hike because of the massive losses they've had with floods and all these other things. So. You take an increase in their insurance, their auto premium, their home premium. You take an increase in health premiums. It's going to
eat some of that up.
Right. And so the Trump tax plan is going to put money back in the pockets of people. But in some cases, it's not even going to get them back to zero. It's not going to get them back flush over the past 4 years worth of increases.
And you mentioned health care now. I'll say it again. I actually ended up being blessed, Dallas, on my health care. Yep. And I told you what I did with the LLC, and I really came out.
Absolutely,
I came out good compared to where I was going at, and what I was currently paying, and where I was going.
Right,
and there was a swing. Actually, it ended up being a swing of about $1,500 a month.
Oh, sure. But Moon, look at what you've increased over the previous several years to get to the point that now you're happy to pay, quote, a higher premium instead of an exorbitant premium.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not happy to be paying what I'm paying.
I know what you mean.
But I'm happy compared to what I was paying and what I would have been paying.
Absolutely.
And that's just sad because I'm a little under $2,000 a month, but I'm trying to make your point. Okay, so if I got a break, maybe I'd be a little bit different because I had that come down, but most people have gone up.
Right.
And healthcare is still devastating.
Absolutely.
That we still under Obamacare.
Yeah,
we're still under the mandates. We're still under all the crazy things of Obamacare.
Well, and in these
it's affecting y'all. It's affecting y'all, Dallas. You got to go into this year.
These people I was talking to about the economy, what their main premise is in the state of Louisiana specifically is where they were talking about, not the whole nation.
I understand.
But a lot of the nation falls under this same category. That the state of Louisiana, when you look at increased sales tax, when you look at increased premiums for auto insurance, for home insurance, and you look at increased health care premiums.
And by the way, all that's up.
Oh, absolutely. You look at the sales tax. You look at the refund, the money back in the consumer's pocket in Louisiana. In many cases, most cases, it's not going to get them back to zero. So if the money that they're getting makes the the week-to-week, the month-to-month paycheck a little bit easier. It's not necessarily going to stimulate the economy because the money's needed to stimulate an economy is going to need to be, I'm going to get you back to a budget of not only zero in parity at zero. I'm going to get you back to a positive budget with money in your pocket that's discretionary money to spend. And the discretionary money is what we're looking for. That's what's going to motivate the economy, and that's what these people are
I guess what we get down to...
I'm not being pessimistic.
No. I'm going to sum it up for you. And if I'm wrong, you're going to correct me. You from Tech, I'm from ULM. You always correct me. All right. The fact of the matter is they'll have enough money for all the increases. So they'll be able to keep moving forward.
Correct.
But they can't take a jump like you would like to see, especially in your business.
Correct. It's not going to give them a consumer confidence and with additional discretionary income to improve their home situation, their automobile situation, their kids' school situation,
but Dallas,
whatever it may be.
You mentioned this. I tell you, let's take a break. When I want to get back, let's make sure we divide something here, because you talked a lot about Louisiana. Nationally, it's looking a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
So let's come back and do a separation, and just because the guy you talking to people like I am, and I want to get
remember,
that insight.
Ford and Toyota and other manufacturers still say flat across the United States.
Okay, we'll take a break. Moon Griffon Show. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. We'll be right back. Oh, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show on the road again in beautiful Alexandria, Louisiana. And of course, in conjunction with our good friends at Sandler Broadcasting, now going on 18 years. With Charlie and Taylor and them, and I'm really grateful to those folks. I really am for giving us that opportunity to be on here, and we love coming here. We appreciate it, and so we'll get a chance to come in and really meet a lot of people. Like my next guest at 10 o'clock is the Rattle Trap folks, and oh no, we're gonna put him on. We're gonna have some fun with him. I got to tell him. But, it's a Louisiana company, so we like to brag about Louisiana. Not that I like to fish or anything, but we like to brag about Louisiana companies. Somebody said, you like to fish? Yeah, I said fish. I didn't say nothing about no catching. I said about fishing. Of course, it kind of hurts my feelings when you get a picture from a gentleman with rattle trap, and he's got a 4 or 5 pound bass on a rattle trap he caught in 30-something degree water. He's kind of giving me a hint. What are you throwing? So I'm throwing rattle trap, trust me. I know a lot of my buddies do. But anyway, we'll visit with them. That's Bill Lewis Rattle Traps, and, of course, their company is right here in Alexandria, Louisiana, and we appreciate those guys. So we always like promoting Louisiana businesses. It's what we think we do best, is to promote things that are coming on. We let the politicians say I'm negative, but the business community and people know exactly what I'm trying to do, and it's to be positive and get the state back on its feet. We deserve better than what we're getting out of Baton Rouge. This state deserves a lot better. Now, some of it's our fault because we put the people in Baton Rouge. You got to remember that. We do. So, anyway, by the way, I want to mention, I'll be at Shucks tonight, too. I'm going to take my bride to eat at Shucks tonight. I'm telling you, if y'all got to just bring your husband, I'll take you to eat anytime you want to come. So, but I'll get a chance to, folks, I brag about Shucks, because I really go there, and I really enjoy the food at Shucks. Dallas can't go to Shucks. That's why he won't come with me anymore. But Shucks in Abbeville, some of the best Cajun cuisine you ever put in your mouth. If you're an oyster eater, I'm just telling you, Dallas. And
I eat anything.
I know, but listen, I like the raw oyster. If you go there and go, you know what, I like them really big, they'll make them. They'll do the big ones for you. If you say, I like them, but I like the little bitty ones, say I want the little bitty ones. But here's the thing. Everybody likes char-grilled oysters. If you like raw oysters, you like char-grilled oysters. Okay. They make an oyster, Dallas, and it's no way. If you're an oyster, you an oyster eater?
Me, yeah.
Okay. They've got one called the Oyster Supreme. And I'm going to eat something tonight, Dallas.
My mouth's watering.
Now, check this out. It's char-grilled. Now, how's this going to be bad? Lump crab meat and shrimp with Parmesan cheese, char-grilled. And you eat that, and I'm telling you what, if that's not the best oyster you ever put in your mouth, that's a char-grilled oyster. Now, you've heard of all these char-grilled oyster places, and they're great. And if you go down to Lafayette, you're going to eat at a lot of great places. But you got to taste this, because I've never seen this combination. Oyster, shrimp, and lump crab meat. How can it go wrong?
You can't make that a bad thing.
You can throw that out there and run over with Dodge. Run over with a Dodge truck and a tire blow up. You run over,
exactly.
with a Hixson
you could sprinkle dirt on that. It would still taste good.
Put dirt, cook it. It'd be great.
That's right.
You made it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dallas Hixson joined us. Dallas, I don't want your political take on it, but you can squeeze in. you heard some, not all of Darden. Jay Darden came on, and he's the co-governor. Make no mistake about it. So he comes on with Aaron and Robert at Kill Radio, their morning program. They do a wonderful job. We got a great morning program, but as well. But they do a great job, and they really ask some good questions. But I noticed, and you noticed this one thing without coming too much on it, because I really don't want you to get in trouble. Let me get in trouble. Darden came on, and he was so defensive. Because you can tell when somebody's defensive. You're interviewing me, okay? And before I can get a question out, I'm ripping.
Yeah.
That tells you how defensive, and they're worried about the PR battle of what people are thinking.
Well, I tell you what they're worried about.
Misinformation. Well, and he's accusing me, too. He said, well, he's elected official, some of these other people you're having on without saying my name. And I don't have what's the reason for me to give misinformation on anything?
Let me tell you, he starts out with the misinformation. And the misinformation is our government claiming that they've had tax cuts. That is the most insane thing I have ever heard. They have raised hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in additional taxes.
They keep saying they only raised $1 billion. They raised over $2 billion.
Yeah.
They did it in different ways. But saying we cut a budget that's growing.
Yeah, you didn't cut anything.
Dallas, it's just, for example, what if you made just to say you made $100,000. Okay, to say you made good money, you made $100,000. Okay? And in 2016. In 2017, you made $115,000. In 2018, you made $230,000. And you're saying, I just can't believe.
I got cut.
I got cut. I said, Dallas, I got to be honest with you. I would know you from Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, exactly.
If you thought that was a cut.
Yeah, no cut. And what's interesting is when you ask, where are the cuts? You can't put. Now, I will tell you this. There are a few things that were cut here and a few things that were raised there, but the raises were more than the cuts.
But here's the thing. Overall, if you take your company budget, let me show you how this works. Now, when I say this, you understand when I say that. I don't mean I know and you don't. Let's say your budget here was $1 million. Just $1 million budget. I mean, you got 3 businesses. Yep. I'm sure it's a lot more, but let's just take it as a $1 million cut. I mean, a $1 million budget, Dallas. And if your budget goes to $1,100,000 and your budget goes to $1,200,000, you could show cuts. You may have cut a little bit in the marketing department.
Sure, but I spent more overall.
But your income went up. You see what I'm saying? You could say, well, we had to cut back on detailing, and so you show in the budget. I cut detailing back from $100,000 to $50,000, and you could say we cut. Yeah, but Dallas, you put that 50 from here and put it in marketing.
Right.
You get my drift. So
Absolutely.
What they're doing is and by the way, they backside this. They're saying they cut this and then the money comes in on another area. So I'm being honest, and Jay's not. Now, I'm not going to sit here and call Jay a la like Robert Adler, because Robert Adler just got out there and lied. But Jay's not telling the truth either. And when you come on that defensive, that tells you right there, people are not buying what you're selling.
Well, the only thing I would tell you is this. What disappoints me is there's been 2 years. This thing is set to expire. You and I talked about that it would either become a permanent tax or a permanent renewal. But either way, it's a tax that would never go away once we put it in.
Well,
I want to see the clean penny expire. I want to see us make some cuts. Look at all these contracts we have, these outside contracts we have, billions of dollars. There's a lot of things that can be cut there. I want to see us make prudent and serious cuts, drop the penny sales tax, and put ourselves in a position where we still have a balanced budget, and you don't have to train wreck education, you don't have to train wreck our hospitals, and you don't have to train wreck our infrastructure to do it.
But I want you to think about this. The reason it's set up that way, when you think of health care, man, I want poor folks to be able to have health care. But health care affects the middle class and the rich. If you're not healthy, you got a problem. The second thing people are concerned about, they're concerned about education itself.
Sure.
Okay? So when you start cutting education, you got kindergarten through 12th grade. You got people going to college trying to get a degree to better themselves. Who wants to cut education?
Yep.
So then they start talking about cutting TOPS, because the middle class, whether you like TOPS or not, okay, it started as a merit system. But because of the way Jindal and Edwards has handled this, they've taken the money away from universities, but they've increased the tuition so much, TOPS went up with it.
Yeah.
Remember, they're covering tuition.
Sure.
So if you're jacking tuition up, the state has to pay more money.
Right.
So whatever they try to do, they're not doing it in the betterment of what's best for the people. They're doing it really what's best for them.
All right.
I just don't understand, and this is why I'm saying we need to change the narrative. Instead of saying Jay was on there crying about, what do you want us to cut? Tell us what to cut. Why don't the narrative be, Jay, what do you want me to give? Tell me what you want me to give. How much money, this gentleman right here, this gentleman and Tom, all of us probably make different amount of money. You know, I get excited when minimum wage goes up. So, but what I'm saying, we all make different money, but to you, $500 may be too much. To me, $150 might be too much.
Here's what I would tell you.
I want to know how much you're pulling out of my pocket, and that's what they won't tell you.
I would tell you this. Right now, I'm paying too much money. No matter what the amount is, I'm paying too much money for what I'm getting from state government. No, seriously.
I had a feeling you were coming.
I kid you not. We've got train wreck roads. I've told you this on many occasions. Our citizens, Louisianians, are paying a couple of $100 million a year in tax. It's a road tax. What it is it's a tax because of the poor roads in our state.
Oh, yeah, you talked about it.
It destroys their vehicles. Great for my business because we fix it. So do a lot of other people. But Louisianians are paying a couple $100 million a year to repair vehicles that are unnecessary if we had good roads.
The argument when they come back is if you give us more road money, we could fix it. My argument is show me what you did with the money we gave you first. Because if you could prove to me that you fixed roads,
and you squandered what was given to you,
then I would say, hey, let's add a dime or 15 cents. All right, Dallas, thank you. We'll come back with you a little later. My friends from Rattle Trap, we'll visit with them, and that is a Louisiana company once again. All right, we'll be right back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Hi, y'all all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show on the road again in beautiful Alexandria, Louisiana. We're here at Hixson Autoplex and visiting with Dallas Hixson. Also had a chance to talk to somebody about the pro-life deal. We're going to jump gears again. Nothing that makes me happier than promoting Louisiana businesses. This is a company that's been really nice to me, I got to tell y'all up front. But their product has been super and it's sold all over the world. And it's a product that y'all in Louisiana might not even know, all originated right here, the Bill Lewis Rattle Trap. And Wes Higgins, the president of the company, has joined us. First of all, good to see you, Wes.
Oh, thanks, man. Great to be here.
It's been a while. Now, I do remember you now. You see, it takes me a little while. But I do remember we were at Shepherd's. And, of course, your sidekick behind you, he knows that we've had a good time on it. Anyway, great to see you. I know you're excited about a new year. This is y'all time of year. I'm taking it as now. Y'all probably do a lot of stuff in the fall.
That's exactly right.
But it's this time of year.
Yeah, we pretty much build inventory heavy summer into the fall, just getting ready for January through March, and that's the big time.
Right? Oh, that's a big time. And, of course, how old is the company now?
1964, Bill Lewis was over there making these baits out of his garage by Bolton High School. And he made all kinds of lures back then, and people would come by, and the Rattle Trap is the one that really took off.
Well, no, and by the way, the good thing about this particular bait, people fish it in freshwater and saltwater.
Yeah.
They fish it in grass and flats.
Very universal.
It deep, and they fish it. They really do. You can fish it right under the water. And by the way, that's the one we like to throw. It's been a very good bait for us.
There's a saying we kind of have that goes around, if I was ever stranded on an island somewhere and I could keep like 3 things, one of them would be a chrome blue rattle trap because I could eat off of that for a long time, yeah.
Well, it's no doubt about it. Everything hits it.
Oh, yeah.
But, all right, tell us a little bit about the company. I know y'all always putting out new baits. I know y'all put out a new bait called the Echo.
Yeah, that's our square bill. I mean, the one thing we take the most pride in, Moon, is that we're the #1 producer of hard baits in the USA.
Still number one.
So there's bigger companies for sure, but nobody makes more hard baits in the USA than we do.
Right, no doubt about it. But you have gotten to doing crankbaits. You're into topwater baits.
Absolutely. We've expanded our product line here in the past few years. We've got the Echo square bill, which has a lot of good sound and vibration similar to the Rattle Trap. It's in the same family, no doubt. The difference is it's going to come through cover, deflect off stumps because of that nice square bill that it's got.
Oh, absolutely. Now tell me about this latest one. By the way, I've not had as much experience on that, but I was talking to my brother last night, and he said that thing catches bait, and he said the big one catches big fish.
It does, and, the thing about the stutter step, any of you guys out there listening that have fished with topwater walking baits, probably the Czar Spook is the most famous one. It's a similar bait in that it's a walking bait. The big difference is that it has more of a bow on the belly, so instead of coming at you with a little 45-degree turns, it's going to be turning more like 90 degrees.
Yeah. By the way, when you throw this thing in the water, it really's got a great action on it. I mean, you just can't. It's no denying that's going to catch fish if you give it a chance.
And anybody can walk it. I mean, you can give it to a beginner.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
No, I'm just saying.
Taking it. Richard told you that. He fished with me. He probably did.
But
tell you
know,
that.
you have walked lures before, and it takes a little bit of rhythm and cadence to get the hang of it.
For me, it's all rhythm. I mean, if I get in a rhythm, you can skip, you can throw, you can pitch, you can do any of that with these baits.
Yeah, and the tail that's on the end of it's got a paddle tail, kind of like a swim bait. And whenever it's walking, it's kicking water. So it's bringing more attention to the bait.
Well, that's exciting. Y'all just released this about 2 years ago, huh?
Yeah, it's got really interesting origins. We got an email through our website from a guy over in Zimbabwe, Africa. And we get a lot of these emails. Hey, I got the next best lure. Y'all need to make it.
And that's fine.
But, you got to click on them because it might be. So I clicked, looked, and he's standing in front of an abandoned swimming pool with muddy water in it, throwing this thing out there.
You can still see it?
But I saw that action, and I was like, we got to build this.
You got to look at that.
Yeah, well, that's how it came to be. He was hand carving them for tigerfish over in Africa.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then you find out to catch bass. I got a feeling that'll catch a redfish too.
Hey,
I just got a feeling it'll catch a redfish.
I mean, I may have stuck one in a redfish's mouth down in Venice back in October. No, they crash it. They
but
really do.
what's neat, and people that like to fish like me, and this is what I would encourage all the people in Louisiana to support, and I really do. I like supporting Louisiana companies.
Yeah.
First of all, you got a product that's been around for over 50 years.
That's right.
Maybe over 60, but at least over 50.
Yeah, we're getting close
64,
to
36, and 18 is 54, 55 years. So it's I did that without using Common Core math, by the way. Saw how quick I did that?
That was impressive.
If we'd have did Common Core math, we'd have been here for 3 more hours trying to figure that stuff out. But I always tell people, you go out there and everybody's tried to make baits that are similar, okay, or baits that are different, but it's still not the original rattle trap. It's not. No. And I know, what people do, though, and you know this, and that's why y'all keep up with the times. You change colors and you change, y'all bringing back a bait.
Yeah.
It's because people's minds change, and they want to gravitate to another company because this big-time fisherman is out there pushing it, and yet they don't realize the bait they have catches fish like it always has. This is a true fish-catching bait. And that's what I tell people in Louisiana. Still fish a few tournaments that, stick with Louisiana. It helps you guys, but it helps our state.
Well, I appreciate that. I think you're definitely right about it. Anytime we can purchase products made in the state, it helps the state. But, a couple of things that make it different than all of the knockoffs out there, besides it just being made here.
And by the way, it's knockoffs because y'all were the original.
Oh, yeah. But the rattle trap in cold water, which it's really cold right now, so this is important right now, people. Whenever you're fishing this bait, it's going to start vibrating and getting action at a slower speed than any other lipless crankbait. So you can barely reel it, just pump it off the bottom, and it's going to get vibration. All the other knockoffs, you have to actually reel them pretty fast. In cold water, you don't want to do that. No.
Matter of fact, when I don't throw them off of, I'm still throwing off monofilament. I know some people like to use braid, some people use the fluorocarbon, but I like to throw it off the monofilament still because I like a little stretch with it when the fish hits it to give it to it.
Got some forgiveness.
But if you lift it off the bottom, you can feel it rattled as soon as you lift it off the bottom. And when you turn the handle once, you still can feel that braid. And you don't have to reel it. Yeah. I don't have to zam it up. You just lift your rod tip and just kind of gradually move it.
Yeah, mono's got a lot of pluses. Being forgiving if you.
I didn't went through all the line size and kinds. Fluorocarbon, they can brag about it all they want to. They can have that. Yeah. That's the high dollar to me. Braid, I only use braid because I have to. And what I mean by that is if I'm throwing a frog,
heavy cover,
something like that, and I pitch with one too, but I still rather than a monofilament. I didn't went all the way around and wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars on line, and I'm right back to fishing the same line I used to fish without giving them plugs, unless they want to come on the program.
Bring them on. Yeah.
So I just did a thing. Now, I'm not as good a fisherman as 99% of the people I fish against, but to me, I'm right back using monofilament and braid, and I feel better with it. So it's like the rattle trap. You tried all this other stuff, just come back home because this is the original. This is the original deal.
Right.
The real deal.
It definitely works. And like you say, we got to keep it fresh, though. So every year we're busting out new colors.
I'm taking, is this new colors this year?
Yeah, these are supernaturals, all with the exception of this retro red, which is a throwback.
That's a pretty bait. That's the one Richard. sends me the picture on it. Says, look what I got in 30-something degree water.
Hey, that one's been a killer here lately, that retro red. We just had a tournament, in fact, on Sam Rayburn just 2 weekends ago, and 3 of the top 5 places came on that retro red
This is
color.
more of the brim-like color, but I tell you what color is this? I really like this.
Yeah, that's an olive shad. It's more of a natural shad color. We've got several different shad patterns in here that are very
looks like a summer and fall pattern right there. It looks really good.
Oh, yeah. Anytime they're chasing shad, we tend to get into Photoshop and Illustrator and just design the fire out of these, and then we can laser image these right on there. Whereas this is a more traditional style paint job, where we're just painting it, pad printing that solid white stripe.
That for the next 2 or 3 months going to be deadly.
Absolutely.
That don't mean you can't fish it later.
Something about red, though. I know, something about red early in the year. Yeah.
Well, first of all, we're talking to Wes Higgins. Of course, we're talking about Bill Lewis Rattle Trap, and a company that's been around for over 50 years, and they're still selling. You can find these really just about in the store, what I would tell people, because that's why I got in touch with Richard.
Yeah.
And Lafayette, not to cut them, there's rattle traps in all the stores, but one of the colors that I liked, and I'm not going to tell people, I wanted to get them, so I called and said, Richard, where can I get them from? Well, you can go online.
That's
and
it.
you can order all the colors, and you're going to see there is a ton of colors.
Right, and we can match people up with a dealer in their area if they call us. They're having trouble. We have a list of all our dealers, too, but, that's the thing is, in defense of our dealers, we make so many colors. We make
that's not a cut on them. I'm telling you. I told you a color I liked.
Right.
And when I was in Monroe, I could find it, but in Lafayette, I can't. But you got different water. It's a different fishing level, man. I'm still learning.
And we make so many colors, they just can't stock them all,
No,
so they'll go with their top 30 or 40, but absolutely.
Go to the website.
Go to the website. Give us a call. We'll make sure you find it.
Oh, no. And that's what y'all did. You said, Moon, they got that. You got just go to the website, and that's what I did. And it was able to pick up what I needed. What about one of the colors, and I want to make sure I'm missing, it's AYU.
Yeah.
You call it IU?
That's actually a Japanese color, AU shad.
Let me tell you something. I was looking through the catalog before y'all came on, and I happened to get a couple of those. I'm looking back at that Richard. He's smiling. I wonder where I got them from. But anyway, I put that on in Henderson. I'm going to give one little tip. I went to Henderson, and I put that crankbait, that rattle trap on this fall. I wore them out on that bait. So when I tell you they were swallowing it, they were swallowing that bait.
Yeah, it's like a shad color with some green on the back.
There was enough green, and the water we're fishing down there is going to be a stained water. You may say 8 or 10 inches, but most is still stained. Swallowing that bait. And I'm not going to tell them anything else.
It's funny,
I've seen that color with plastics and never bought it. Yeah. Now, I'm trying to rethink that. Hold up just a second. If they hit that thing moving, will they hit it on a flip or a pitch bait?
Yeah, that color, funny, it originated in Japan. A lot of people don't think about Japan.
See, I thought Richard made up that color.
No. A lot of people don't think Japan when they think bass fishing, right? But it's a huge deal over there.
I got news for you. Some of the better guys on the trail are starting to ease in from Japan.
Right.
I mean, there's 2 or 3 on the trail that I know of, like with some names.
Well, the world record bass was caught in Japan just a few years ago. Funny thing is, it's considered a invasive species there, so they're not supposed to throw them back. They're supposed to kill them, keep them and kill them when they catch them. But of course, all these guys that want to catch.
You know what you sound like? You sound like in South Louisiana. If it's caught, it's meant to be.
Yeah. Except it's like government imposed in Japan, right?
I'm actually living in Lafayette. I'm back home. But what I'm telling you is, I went back home, and from Monroe to Lafayette is night and day. But eating the fish higher on the scale in Lafayette than Monroe. Wes, thank you. God bless, man.
I
really appreciate y'all. We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
All right. We got to take a break. Be right back. That was great, man. Oh, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. It is. Hixson has it hotline. Dallas Hixson, my special guest. Dallas, a lot of stuff going on. I mean, y'all trying to base y'all business. I wonder if the state government, they keep saying they can't operate unless they know how much money they got. Well, let me flip that. Businesses can't operate unless they know how much money they got.
Every day.
Businesses base everything off of 5 years minimum of where they're going, 5 and 10 and 20-year plan. We can't operate unless we know what a tax structure is. And then if your tax structure is too high, we can operate in another state.
Sure.
And we have our migration again. Payroll is down here.
Absolutely.
Okay. The states surrounding us is way up. Unemployment's down here. You know why? I'm telling you, Jim Richardson, who's on the estimating conference, who's a LSU guy. He says we are down job-wise and numbers-wise as far as unemployment because people are leaving the state again.
Yeah, we have able-bodied people who are going other places. And, Moon, I've shared this with you. Not only are businesses not coming here, and not only are businesses out-migrating to other places. Why? Number one, because of the massive tax structure we're in right now. It's not conducive to build a business here when there's so many other places that have better structures. They have better roads. They have a better infrastructure to build your business and a better tax structure to allow you to be more profitable and grow your business. Number one. Two, uncertainty. Even if we get our tax structure straight in Louisiana, people won't believe it. We're going to have a sustained tax structure for a lengthy period of time to prove to exterior businesses we are safe. It's safe for you to move here and operate in Louisiana. We're not going to change the rules because what Louisiana does is we're day by day, year by year. We wait, and when something doesn't go right, we just change the rules. We're going to tax the snot out of you, and we're going to take the money. And what businesses are careful of is even if we get the tax structure straight today, this session, we get it right. Nobody's going to move to our state because they think, well, all they're going to do is wait 2 years and change it again. We're going to have sustained tax structure that's correct.
But to make the tax structure good for businesses, not for government. Government would benefit.
Has to.
You know what's? It's amazing that you said that. Something I was getting ready to say. A good friend of mine, Lyle Miller. I don't know if you know Lyle.
Absolutely, yeah.
Lyle's bought vehicles from y'all for many years. Lyle Miller has told me this for 10 or 15 years. He said, man, you know why? One of the reasons that he said, Louisiana won't straighten this act together. This is 10 or 15 years ago. I'm going to say at least 15 years ago, because Lyle used to host a program, and I still talk to Mr. Miller. Lyle used to say, Moon, our problem, if you really look at it, we changed the rules. We changed the rules. We changed the rules. Out of your mouth, a businessman in this community and other communities in the state, out of your mouth, we changed the rules. And that's what nobody understands. For businesses and people to do well, here's the rule. Texas ain't changing the rules every 3 seconds. They don't have an income tax. They got a high property taxes, but
everybody knows it. And
everybody knows it.
And they understand the rules and how you play the game. And I've told you, I've had several friends of mine sell their businesses in Louisiana, move to Texas. I had one of them call me and says, man, you got to sell everything. You got to come over here. You won't believe what it's like. I said, well, you're getting taxed. He goes, heck yeah, I'm getting taxed. Number one, I'm getting taxed less. Number two, the people here want more money. But you know how they get it? The government here wants me to grow my business and make more profit so I can pay more taxes, not tax me more on the same profit that I make.
And I get excited. I got a couple guys, one of them in particular, but one that used to, he's moved. And they sell advertisement for me. Now, I sell most of mine, but I'm thankful for them because they help me tremendously. Man, I love when I got to pay them a check.
Yeah.
I love it. Why? Because they've made me a living, too, and they're making money. I love cutting them a check. I've heard people say, by the way, they just don't want to write you a check.
More money you make.
I guarantee you Dallas would like every employee here to make a lot more money because on the bottom line is your company's going to be healthy. My company's healthy. When my sales guy, I say my sales guy, he really works with me, but still he is. Dude, I'm excited to cut them checks for those people.
Yeah.
I love cutting the checks for them because I know it helped me.
Well, and you get into a situation, this systemic problem of changing the rules that Louisiana's had for decades. I'm not saying that we're going to have a tax structure. I am saying that if we change the tax structure to a correct structure, we have the proper tax rates, we're building roads, we're supporting schools, and we're supporting our healthcare system in the state. We're going to have to go for a sustained period of time, like I said, before other businesses outside.
I'm going to say 4 to 5 years.
I agree.
Minimum.
And once it's 4 or 5 years, they realize it's going to stick. But during that 0 year to 5 years, it doesn't mean our state's not going to grow. The existing businesses within our state will start to reap the benefits. They'll start to grow. They will pay more taxes. And our state government will have to live off that number. Once people start to move into our state, it's like Trump bragging in Davos, Switzerland, about, man, we've created a structure and people are knocking down the door right now.
Well, with his corporate tax cut, they are coming back and they are putting money back here.
They're trying to move back into the United States.
But he did something by lowering the tax and said, okay, they made it permanent too. It's not one they can play up and down with. I think it's 10 years.
It is.
Even if it's 10 years, 10 years gets you a better idea.
Sure. And some of the corporate stuff's permanent. Some of the individual tax rates are not.
But individuals not, and then you have individuals 10
and it's
years.
And we're gonna have to address that at some point in time in the future. But the main thing is somebody, who is it going to be? People we've elected. Someone has to see the bigger picture, create a tax structure in our state that's inviting. And then we've got to stick with it and live within our means during that period of time until we get to the point where we explode with growth.
Quick question, because we're getting ready to have to go. If I was your new CEO, and let's just say Cornelius had been your CEO and everything got messed up, and I had been your CEO for 2 years, and I was only complaining about what Cornelius has done,
I'd fire you.
Well, John Bell Edwards and Jay Dart need to quit complaining about Bobby Jindal and complain about temporary taxes because they are the CEOs.
Yeah,
quit complaining about who's not there anymore.
This goes back to the old deal, and I'll give you an example.
Yeah, real quick.
I've got management.
You got a minute.
If you're a manager a leader coming into a situation, you may not have created the problem, but by gosh, when you accept leadership responsibility, it is your problem.
Well, it becomes your problem because that's your job.
And griping about it is not the solution. What I want to know is an owner of a business, or what I want to know is a person in our state, whether you're talking about state government or a single business. If you accept the responsibility, you accept the problems. Even though you didn't create them, you own them. What are you going to do to get it fixed? And arguing about it is not a solution.
Well, when I got married to my wife, I had 2 boys. The option was not to get rid of them.
Yeah, that's right.
The option was, here's what we got.
There you go.
HixsonHasIt.com.
Give us an opportunity. We will really work hard to earn your business.
Great seeing you.
Yeah,
always a pleasure. And folks, HixsonHasIt.com. Dallas will get you taken care of.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
God bless. We'll see you all Monday. Not tomorrow, Monday.